Alright, well, time to feed the viewers again. Put something out. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Mornings. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. Hey. Alright. Now, what do we got here? See, Valve released Steam survey result for April 2025. It says, clockwork, with the start of a new month comes the update Steam survey result from Valve to reflect the latest Linux gaming hardware and software trends. The top line number from Valve for the Linux market share is 2.27 for April. That's a 0.06 decrease compared to March, which may amount to just the Linux gaming user base not growing as much as other platform and just overall survey noise. For all key purpose, the overall Linux gaming market share was effectively flat months over months. Steam on Linux is typically in the 2% region, aside from when there is a Steam survey abnormalities around the share. Around sharp fluctuation in report of Steam China use. And then it says shows your on one it says Mac OS 12.6.64-bit has 0.5% and a negative 0.5%. Linux is 2.27, 0.6. Arch Linux 64-bit 0.21% and negative 0.02%. Linux Mint 21, Linux Mint 22. Linux Mint 22.1 64-bit. Sorry about that. 0.14, and that's a plus 0.2%. Ubuntu Core 22 64-bit 0.10%, and it's 0.00%. And then Ubuntu 24.4 .2 LTS 64-bit 0.10, and then 0.00. And then Manjaro Linux 64-bit 0.06 and 0.00. Then Endeavor Linux 64-bit 0.06% and 0. And then for the negative is like 0.00. Debian GNU Linux Bookworm 64-bit is 0.02, 0.05, and 0.00. Yeah, it says here the Steam Linux distribution numbers show that SteamOS Holo at around 34% for this Arch Linux-based distribution power the Steam Deck and other handheld devices. Again, in the typical range and largely flat months over months. And then this shows your SteamOS Holo is 33.78%, a negative 0.70%, and Arch Linux is 9.45% and a negative 0.23%. Free desktop SDK 24.08 Flatpak runtime is 6.41% plus a 0.15, and Linux Mint 22.1 64-bit and a 6.20% plus a plus 0.89. Ubuntu 22 64-bit 4.64% plus and a plus 0.23%. Ubuntu 24.4 2 LTS 64-bit is 4.44% plus 0.26. Manjaro Linux 64-bit and a 2.61% and negative 0.05. Endeavor is 2.46% plus 0.6%. Debian GNU Linux 12 Bookworm 64-bit 2.27% and 0.08. And then Pop OS let's see 22.4 LTS 64-bit is 2.23%, and then plus 0.02, and then others is 25.54%, and a negative 0.53. So Linux is doing all right. AMD GPU market share among Linux gamer core. No, AMD CPU market share among Linux gamers comes in at a strong 69%, while Intel takes the rest of the CPU market. So AMD has 69.86% and a negative 0.27, and then let's see, Intel has a 30.14 and a plus 0.29. It says overall these results for April were largely flat months over month, with no major shift in Linux gaming software / hardware data. Those wanting to dig through all the numbers can do so via steampower.com. Yeah, we'll leave the link. And then of course you got 32 comments, in the Linux community just sounding off, so yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's the Linux survey for April that Valve posted. So, but it's a up and down thing. It's like up, down, flat. So it be like that sometimes, in the operating system market. But the good thing is that they have a user base that uses Linux. That's the good point. That's the good thing. So all they can do with all these OSs now, to keep their user base, is update them with newer versions. Yeah. And little updates here and there. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, Linux is okay, man. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy it. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, Star Wars, Star Trek thing, Board, Dark Section. Go. Peace.